and welcome everybody. I appreciate the kind patience as it has taken me quite a bit to make another video. And this video I wanted to talk about purification rituals in ancient Egypt. How did they purify? What was the reason for it? How did they go about it every single day? Was it extensive or was it not extensive? So we'll be looking into all of that, and I hope you enjoy. So the purification rituals in ancient Egypt, they quite varied, but not by much. It really just depends. If you were going to a temple, you have the sacred lake. And the sacred lake is what was used for the first purification. What you would do is you would head to the lake before you go into the temple. You would dress down. You would go into the lake, wash everything, and then you would come out of the lake. You would dress in fine white linen, and then you would head into the temple. This was pretty standard for those visiting the temple, as well as the priests and priestesses that were entering into their pretty much a workforce. Now within the temple, certain priests and priestesses were only allowed to go into certain designated areas depending on their title, which also signified whether or not they were pure enough to enter into these areas. So for the most common and pretty much a good abundance of them were Wab priests, or pure ones. And they worked a lot of the oracles. They were the ones that you most saw working in the outer areas of the temple. And they were minus their name, they were kind of the less pure ones. They weren't allowed to go very deep into the temple. If, say, you were a high priest, wife of Amun, a lector priest or Kahiri Heb, you were allowed to go a lot deeper into the temple, into the areas that were most restricted, areas that actually had the worship rooms. And by worship rooms, I mean the areas that hold the statue of the gods, or the main deity that the temple was specifically used for. Lector priests were also the ones who taught others around them what to say during ritual. They were the only ones who could really sort of speak it as well. They were the ones who were the scribes of the temples, and it was a role that was passed down from father to son continuously. It was a family role. So their purification was a lot more pure than the Wa priest. So that just gives a good example. And to enter into these areas, the purification rituals, minus the titles, were simple. Minus the sacred lake, you could purify yourself by just sprinkling water all over you, or swishing it around in your mouth. Now, what would be the purification water? What makes it, like holy water? What makes it so special that it purifies you? Minus the sacred lake, they would mix natron salt and water together, and that's what would create the purifying process. So mixing those two together, you can swish it around in your mouth and then spit it out, don't swallow it, and that would quickly purify you for certain designated areas of the temple, as well as quick rituals, home cults, that you didn't, you could do without having specifically going to the temple. Or you can mix natron salt and water together and then sort of splash it on you. This was also used to clean their statues as well, to purify the statues, and then they would oil them. It's really basic. It's just kind of used for everything. And of course, to continue with the purity of the priests and the priestesses, they would pretty much do a ritual bath about 3 to 4 times a day and night. I've read it was morning before the sun rose, the afternoon, and the evening, um, right as the temple is shutting down. And then I've also read that it's 2 during the day and 2 during the night. So that also helped keep up their purification within their soul, within their body, as well as for their titles. And of course, like I said, the titles that you could level up to also gave you automatically certain purification status. Super simple. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this information. I know it was kind of quick. I know it took a little bit for me to get a new video out, but I really appreciate it. If you have any comments, any questions, comment below. I'd love to answer them for you. And don't forget to share the video if you enjoyed it. And I really appreciate everybody. Have a wonderful day. Dua Naturu to all of you guys.